Hello and welcome to Stammerer. Today I want to discuss the interview yesterday by the MP Rosena Allin-Khan on ITV yesterday, and let's talk about the good and the bad. Hello and welcome back to Stammerer. Now today I wanted to not call something out. I want to use this platform as a means for people with with anything, and that includes a stammer or anything else, to be able to talk about things where they feel frustrated and things that they see that they want to call out and really try to make a change. And yesterday, for me personally, and I've watched the interview back, and so yesterday the MP Rosena Allin-Khan went on an ITV show. It's a Loose Women. Now again, that wasn't easy for me to say. So there was an interview done, and where she spoke about having a stammer and the fluency and the trials that she's experienced as an MP. Now, let's take the fact that she's an MP to the side, because this could spiral off into another thing. And she very eloquently spoke about what it's like to be an MP, the scars that she carries now, that she's carried through her kind of like her whole life, and how she's kind of managed to get over them, but the scars are there still. Now, I just have to say this from the off. I absolutely admire her. She's brave. She's an MP that promotes this, so this can only be good. And this is what we need. Is we need people who are prepared to open up and talk about this stuff. And she did it in a very professional way. She has a very strong reach, being an MP. So she was on the show talking to the panel, and she came across extremely well, and she has to, because she's an MP. I've never I watched the talks in Parliament, and again, let's not focus on that too much. I've never seen her speak in Parliament, but she made a really poignant where she said that sometimes now when she sees her speech, she looks at words and thinks, shall I amend the words? Which I can totally empathise with. It's something that I kind of do now, even when I'm trying to think about now, and I try to take out words. That's a very brave person to be, and she's very intelligent, she's very bright, and that's fantastic, and these are the people that we need. Or these are the people that we did need, and we do need on side, to open up doors. Now let me tell you what my issue with that interview is. So my fundamental issue with the interview and the talk is not the person who has the stammer. It's not with the MP. It's not with her who's brave and she's opening up herself. It's with society, and it's with ITV. It's with the TV shows. And as much as we need these people to speak for us, yesterday she spoke and this is an amazing thing that she's been able to come over the stammer, is that she was, she could speak, and we need people who are on there that struggle for the fluency, who are people who are not the most fluent speakers, are the ones who have to think before they speak, who will be able to talk to a panel and have everybody hear what we have to go through every single second, every single, but the problem with that is that people like us, people like that, TV, they do not like that. Imagine if, for example, me, and I get asked something, and today I'd probably say that I'm having an offish sort of thing today, and you go on that show, you're nervous, you can barely speak, and they're asking you loads and loads of questions, and you wouldn't be able just to answer the questions, and the stammer would be, would be able to be heard and seen. And I'm not an MP, I'm just a person from the street, or anybody else. Why does it have to be an MP? Why can't the producers or the people that think that they are looking for ideas for the show, and of course stammering happens, in their mind they're kind of like, we haven't spoken about this in about 3 years, so now we need to speak about it. Let's just find somebody famous-ish enough, or who has some power, who can talk about this. We need people from everywhere that can talk about this. The fact that she is an MP, the fact that she has this reach and this power, and instead of allowing real people, and the fact that, and I feel so bad, the fact that she has a stammer and she clearly has the scars, but that's not a representation, a true representation of the struggles that we go through every single, just walking, being, if you walk down the street and somebody says hello, inside you just want to say hi, but sometimes you're having such a bad day that you just can't. And this is what people need to see. People don't see this. So, you've got so many people who, they interview them and they say that they had a stammer, which is hard enough anyway. Amazing people who've managed to get through it, and then they talk, and then people think, or this is my perception of what people think, is that, oh great, you can be cured. The fact that she's able to come onto a TV screen in front of all these people, in front of an audience, and talk, and she's saying that she has a stammer and she's able to talk, and she's really, really good, she's clearly bright, she's smart, and it gives a misrepresentation of what it's actually like. And this is what annoys me, and this is still what's out there, this still needs to be spoken about, is why do we never see people who have a stammer out there, people who who find it really, really hard to speak? It's because it's uncomfortable. It's because people feel uncomfortable and don't know what to do, and the reason is because they're not exposed to it enough. People were just exposed, maybe it would make people like me feel more comfortable, be able to be out there instead of in a room with a camera. This is easier for me to talk. The fluency is up here. Could I talk in front of lots and lots of people? I don't know. In the first place, I'd say no, because I'd be anxious. But the anxiety comes from the fear of what people will think, because I know that people are not exposed and people don't see the fight. People don't see what we have to go through. And with social media, TV, they have a responsibility to promote everybody, and there's only so many different things that they will promote. You know, I'm not going to speak too much on all the kind of like other bits and pieces, but for us, we don't have a voice, and we hardly have a voice as it is, and we have to fight for that voice. So when you see interviews where there's clearly a person who's been through a lot, you know, and like Rosena has become she is an inspiration. You know, she's fought, but because of her success, I feel like TV will try to tick a box and say, oh, we've spoken about this. No. We need to talk to real people and give those people a voice for people to hear. And whether they feel uncomfortable or not, that's not the issue here. Everybody needs a voice, and we don't have a voice. And even when we talk about it, 99% of, you know, the time that we hear about it, we hear from people who can actually talk. Okay, you may sort of hear the stammer as it was, but we only ever hear from people who are famous or, you know, or who kind of like, or who had a stammer. But we need to start hearing from people who actually stammer every day, who try to hide it. You know, there's so many amazing people who, just because they don't speak like everyone else, and because it's uncomfortable for the media, it's uncomfortable for people to hear it, doesn't mean they're not skilled people. You know, there's so many different skill sets, you know, that, and people will hide it because they're so scared to speak about it. And I can empathise on the basis that I hid away, and this isn't about me and skills, but there are people who have these amazing skills, who are able to write, to, you know, who want to act, who can sing, who can write, who are smart, and I feel like some of these people are not heard, or they're not heard enough because it's uncomfortable. And the interview yesterday just really hit, kind of like hit home, as to, once again, there's a discussion about having a stammer, and it's a tick box. It's a yes, let's talk about it because it's, you know, and you know, let's all clap the person who can now speak. The worst thing that I would want is somebody to clap me because I can speak. Don't clap because this person can speak. Now, clap because of her achievements. Don't clap her because, you know, she's looked at a speech and because she doesn't want to say the words. And, you know, clap her because she's amazing. Clap her because she's become an MP and she's trying to make a change. That is what you should be clapping. We shouldn't be, you know, like seals clapping, you know, all this stuff, all this heart-wrenching stuff. We should be clapping these people for what they are, not because that they can speak. And again, it was just another missed chance to really talk about, to get somebody on who really has a lot to say about it, who can say it in a voice where a stammerer can actually go, actually yes, who's not a famous person, who has been plucked out, and who will make people feel uncomfortable, because stammering is uncomfortable. Doesn't mean that it's not amazing. Nobody should be ashamed of it, and it shouldn't be uncomfortable. But as it is now, 2023, it is uncomfortable, and we need to make it not so. And if the only way to do that is to make other people feel uncomfortable, so it doesn't become the elephant in the room anymore, to make people comfortable, then that is what we need to do. Thank you for listening. See you in the next one.